the last 6 games. Just 1/2 game in front of Dallas. 4-2 over the last 6 games, along with 4 other teams. Just a perfect day. 58 degrees the temperature, cool and clear, and a perfect day for me to say good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall, and for all of us at CBS Sports, I'd like to add our good wishes and happy Thanksgiving to you. With me is John Madden, who has known all about playoffs and Super Bowls and championships. And John, the Cowboys have a different kind of bird in mind today for their Thanksgiving Day, a Cardinal. But this Cardinal team is a formidable challenge. First of all, get to the Cowboys, though, and their injury problems.
Well, of course, I think their biggest injury is Drew Pearson. You know, not only is he a great wide receiver, he's a big play guy for that team, and they have to play without him today, which means a number of things. One, of course, they miss a big play. Two, Tom Landry in that spread formation, he likes to play 3 and 4 wide receivers. He won't be able to do that today. Lately, he's been sending into plays with the wide receivers. He can't do that today, so he really has a lot of adjustments.
For the Cowboys, Thanksgiving Day and contests have been sort of a tradition. Not so for the Cardinals. It's a very short week for both teams, but the Cowboys are sort of used to it. What did Jim Hannafin, the Cardinal coach, tell you about the short week and about what he has to do to beat the Cowboys?
Well, you know, it's a different approach, and the thing that Jim Hannafin said that they have to do is be physically and mentally ready. So what he decided to do in his short week is to not wear any pads all week. Now, the team that travels always has the most difficult time because they have the short week, plus they have to travel, and that's the Cardinals. So Jim Hannafin said, we're just going to go out and walk through things. No one's going to hit anyone. Now, on the other side, Tom Landry said, this is a big, big game for us. We're not only going to practice every day, we're going to practice in pads every day, which they did. We were at practice yesterday, and they had the pads on, and they had a very long and very intense practice, and when they came off the field, they looked very determined for today.
And keep this in mind, December the 11th, here at Texas Stadium, the Redskins will come to town. Right now, Dallas 10-2 and Washington 10-2. The Cowboys will get to receive the kickoff. Neil O'Donoghue, the tall place kicker for the Cardinals, who's made a remarkable comeback after the disastrous Monday night. Gary Allen is number 31. Ron Fellows back there with him for Dallas. Here we go. O'Donoghue hangs it high, and Allen will take it right at the goal line. He's got some room. Allen to the 30. Good run back. George Schmidt made the tackle. He brought a punt back all the way last week against Kansas City. Here's the Dallas offensive lineup. White, the quarterback. Dorsett and Springs, the runners. Butch Johnson in place of Pearson, and Tony Hill, the wide receivers. Up front, it's Donovan, Scott, Rafferty, Richards, Jim Cooper, and Doug Cosby at tight end. Cosby hasn't worked very much during the week. Check out that Cardinal defense for you in just a minute. 1st and 10, Dallas. Ball is at their own 30. Happy Thanksgiving one more time. Cowboys 10-2. Cardinals 5-6-1, and White throws to Dorsett on 1st down. Dorsett almost broke away for some running room, but he was tripped up by E.J. Jr., and that's a name you'll hear a lot this afternoon. St. Louis plays a 4-man front, a little bit different from Dallas, and those are the 4 who will be up there. Baker, Galloway, Grooms, and Curtis Greer. 3 linebackers, another Baker, Alderman, and E.J. Jr. In the secondary, Lionel Washington, Wayne Smith, Lee Nelson, and Benny Perrin. 2nd down and 6 for Dallas. The second offensive play of the game. Cosby is out of the game. Billy Joe Dupree is the tight end. That may be the way he gets the plays in, Coach Landry. Johnson was in motion. Here is the Dallas counter play, and Dorsett cuts to the outside and is cut down. Lee Nelson came up to make that hit, and a good open field tackle on a runner like Dorsett.
Those are the 2 things that you have to do against the Cowboys in their running game. Is 1, get some penetration, get across the line of scrimmage, and number 2, get your strong safety up there quickly.
As John Madden mentioned, because of injuries, we weren't sure how Tom Landry would get the plays into Danny White. It would appear now it's with the tight ends, Cosby and Dupree. Newsom is now one of the backs as White will operate out of the shotgun. That's Springs in motion. That's Cosby, and that'll be enough for a Dallas 1st down outside the 40. That big target, E.J. Jr. took him down.
And, of course, that's Danny White's target. You know, anytime that they get a third down pass, they always look for Doug Cosby. And here's a reason. Now, watch. He's the inside guy here. The tight end, the big guy, usually works the middle. You see, he's right there in the inside of the numbers. He's between two guys, but he's big enough to see. He's big enough to work back and put guys off like a basketball player.
And I know it pleases you to see that he got enough yardage, just enough for the first down.
That upsets me when they have third down and throw it short.
So it's first down, Cowboys. Dorsett, the lone setback. Cosby on the flank to the right. Tony Hill. By Wayne Smith. But it's another Cowboy first down. You can't give him that much room.
Well, you know, the one thing the Cowboys do is move the ball around. We see the tight end. Now we watch Tony Hill. He's out here, and we see the room that he's being given there by Smith. You see, he's way back. So Tony Hill, he just goes up about 3 steps, stops, gets the ball, boom, up the field, and he picks up enough for a first down. As you say, Wayne Smith can't give him that much room. You can't fall down after you do either.
Those are 2 errors. Duck Donnelly is split out wide to the left. There was doubt about whether or not he'd be able to play. This is Cosby in motion. Cowboys from Cardinal territory, and Dorsett bangs inside the 45. Elois Grooms led the defense.
And I'll tell you who led the play. It's Doug Cosby. You know, he's getting more and more. He's getting to be more and more of a blocker on this thing. You know, one time as a tight end, but watch him. Here he is, 84. He comes in motion. Now watch him come up. Boom, head in there, square, pretty good. Guard gets around. Here comes Dorsett right in behind there. That's a pretty good block for one of those tight ends that goes in motion and stuff.
Don't expect that kind of thing. There's Cosby, close up, 2nd and 7. After all that praise, they got 3 yards. Here's White back to throw. Outside Springs. Springs out of bounds at about the Cardinal 43. Only a couple. Check out the pass blocking.
Let's watch this. This is Jim Cooper. He's 61 for the Cowboys against Al Baker. Baker is probably the biggest pass rusher for the Cardinals. Now watch Cooper. He gets that right arm up there. Good. Keep it up there. Keep it up there. Now that's all he has. He just gets it right around the net. It's not bad. You have to get those hands up on those guys to keep them away from you.
Hands have become such a very vital part not only of rushing the passer, but of blocking for the passer. Third down and 5 from the Cardinal 42. White intended for Newsom, who was tripped up. The fans obviously thought that was Leonard Smith who got tangled up with Newsom. The sellout crowd felt that that should have been interference, but nothing called.
That area right there, I think, is one that's going to hurt the Cowboys today, and missing Drew Pearson. It was a 3rd and long situation, shotgun or spread formation, and they had to get Newsom in there instead of Pearson.
So here is Danny White back to punt. Remember, he can run it out of punt formation. Did last week. There is Stump Mitchell. White hammering for the corner. Into the end zone. Mitchell lets it bounce, and they'll bring it back to the 20. 42-yard punt. No return, but because they do bring it back to 20, it's the 22-yard net. 0-0 at Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall to John Madden, Texas Stadium for the annual Thanksgiving Day contest. Cowboys against the Cardinals. You can see it's a bright, clear day, and the problems that hole in the roof of Texas Stadium creates for us. It's a very, very nice place to work, except for a cameraman. Here is Neil Lomax. We'll check out the whole lineup in just a minute. Outside to Anderson. Otis Anderson out of bounds by John Dutton, with an assist from Bob Brunig. Here are the Cardinal starters. Neil Lomax, red hot recently. Anderson and Morris. Anderson on a roll as well. Roy Green, the NFL's leading receiver, NFC's, I'm sorry, with 62 catches. Pat Tilley, the other wide receiver, and he's dangerous as well. Sharp, Steve, Clark, Bostic, Tootie Robbins, and Doug Marsh up front. Tootie Robbins. You like that?
Good name for a tackle. Get down there in the pit with Tootie.
Tootie is matched against Too Tall. We'll be watching that matchup throughout the day. 2nd and 6 from the 24. Lomax to Anderson. O.J. Anderson spinning and got about 5. Looks like he'd be about a yard shy. Dexter Clinkscale made the stop. The Dallas defense. The four-man flex up front, at least on first down. Jones, Dutton, White, and Harvey Martin, the linebackers. Hegman, Brunig in the middle, and Anthony Dickerson. In the secondary, a maligned secondary of late. Walls, Thurman, Clinkscale, and Downs. Now they come in with a different set of defenders. Third and short. Lomax going to work to Green. Good throw. Green has it. Walls chasing, but he won't catch. Roy Green, 71 yards from Lomax, and what a perfect strike.
That's what Jim Hannafin said that they wanted to do. They said that Michael Downs, the free safety, has been getting involved in the running game. So watch this play again. Watch it. He'll start with a play fake. You see, he fakes to Anderson there. That's just enough. That gets Downs up. That holds him. And then Green is able to get beyond Walls. Walls has no help at all in there from his free safety. But it all started with the play fake that held the safeties in. Walls had no help to the post.
What an athlete this guy is. He used to be a defensive back. Put him on offense, nobody offsides. There were a lot of movement. Penalty marker did go down, I'm sorry, from one side of the field, and now another one goes down. 80 yards in 3 plays for the Cardinals. They took 59 seconds to get it done. O'Donoghue's extra point was good. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of scoring today.
I think so. I think we're going to see a lot of passing, at least by this Cardinal team, and that Roy Green is something.
Defense, number 78. It will be applied to the kickoff. The point is good.
Let's watch Roy Green on that play. He's right here. Now he's going to run a post pattern. He's going to start up, see, and then he's going to go into him like he's going to the corner to hold him. And now he's starting here into the post, which means into the goal post, into the middle of the field. And that's a perfect pass. Watch right out in front of him. He gets that ball. He has 2 steps on Walls, and Walls isn't going to catch him.
Walls has to have some help inside in a situation like that. 7-0 St. Louis.
Cardinals. And this is my wife Sharon and our daughter Miosha. We hope that you're having a great time eating turkey and watching the game. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, it should be a happy Thanksgiving for Roy Green, the Cardinals, and for his family.
It's the start of a happy Thanksgiving.
It sure is. O'Donoghue will kick off. Back deep for the Cowboys. Allen and Fellows. It'll be Allen again. This time from the 2. With room. Allen stays on his feet, still on his feet. And now outside the 25, stopped by Cedric Mack to the 29.
Let's watch Roy Green's touchdown. Now watch the effect that it has on the safeties here. Michael Downs and Dexter Clinkscale. When they see that play fake in here that holds him here, steps him up here, and now as Green runs in here to the post, he has no help from this inside. Now watch it here. Now watch those 2 guys in the middle. Watch your play fake. See, it holds them both. Look, they step up. By now, Green has passed them. Now Walls has Green man-to-man on the whole field. Now that's a tough day's work.
Number 31, Journey Allen is the Cowboy being checked this time. Also being checked, number 50.
2 players down, Allen for the Cowboys and Chet Parlavecchio down for the Cardinals, number 57. 7-0, the Cards lead. See if we can figure what happened to Gary Allen.
I think we can see it right here as he gets hit. Watch from this side, right here. Now, it looks like Dave Aarons is going to be right on his ankle right there, because watch, after he breaks out of here, he starts to limp there before he even gets hit the second time.
That's the injured Cardinal, Chet Parlavecchio, number 57. He is being helped off. Allen did get off under his own power. So it'll be first down for the Cowboys at their own 29. The Cardinals ahead, 7-0. 71-yard pass completion, ties the longest of the year for the Cardinals. The other was Lomax to Tilley. This is Lomax to Green, and they lead 7-0. Just what they hoped for.
Right, and I'll tell you, Tom Landry really has to be concerned about that, because when you come in and you're last in pass defense, and the first one they go after, they get a 71-yarder on you for a touchdown, you can't just keep shaking that one off.
Well, as he said to us yesterday, it is something. It is true. It's there on paper. We have given up a lot of yards. 264 a game, and that's a lot. That's the average. On first down, it's Ron Springs. He gets out to about the 35 for a good gain. Charlie Baker made the stop. Let's see how the Cowboys are calling plays. We thought it was the tight ends.
Well, it was. He had two of them. See, he was going to go to 89, Billy Joe Dupree first. Then he said, no, I want this play, so I'll send in Doug Donnelly.
Tony Hill goes out. Seems to be okay, but Donnelly comes out wide to the right. Butch Johnson goes wide to the left. Cosby, the tight end, is on that side also. And the flanker man is Ron Springs. Wide on a rollout. Cosby. To the Cardinal 40. E.J. Jr. back there with him, but a 24-yard pickup for the Cowboys. Cosby and White.
Doug Cosby sneaked across there. Watch him. Here he is, the tight end. Now he'll come across the field. Now underneath him was Ron Springs, so he was deeper. You see him. He's looking now. Danny White is bootlegging. He finds him. He's wide open. He just gets the ball right there. They had a little play fake, then a quarterback bootleg, and everyone got caught inside, and Doug Cosby got him behind him.
That's almost the same play that the Redskins used. There is a little subtle difference, but it's close. Tony Hill back, pitch back to Dorsett. Nowhere to go, and Dorsett is knocked out of bounds at the 40 by Lionel Washington. Speaking of the Redskins, I would imagine that we have about 60 people in Washington who are a captive audience, wouldn't you?
Well, there'll be a lot more than 60. That's the 60 players and coaches, but then you add all their fans. And I bet right now they're rooting like heck for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Right now they're ahead 7-0. There is the coach of the Cardinals, Jim Hannafin. What a delightful guy he is.
I'll tell you, he spent a lot of time with us last night, and it looked like we could have spent more, but he had to go to a Thanksgiving dinner with his team.
Gary Allen, by the way, has a twisted knee. He may be back. That Springs in motion. White, Donnelly, blockers in front. Donnelly down the sideline. Donnelly inside the Cardinals 30 to the 28. Cowboy first down. He picked up 12. Benny Perrin made the hit.
Doug Donnelly is kind of a surprise player today. He hadn't played in the last 2 weeks. He has a nerve in his knee problem. Let's watch the play again. It's a little play fake, and it's a screen pass out here to Donnelly. Here comes a blocker right there. That's Pat Donovan. Made a heck of a block. He just took that guy, knocked him right out of bounds. Donnelly made the cut inside, picked up the first down. That's not bad for an old left tackle.
Not bad.
Boom, boom, boom. Getting that block that springs him.
First down, Cowboys at the Cardinal 27. Dorsett back deep. Cosby in motion. Fake to Dorsett. To Tony Hill, knocked away at the last minute by Wayne Smith, the defender, on a good defensive play. Just got his hand in there in time.
Danny White has those eyes, that look of intensity, doesn't he? In his eyes, he looks like he's going hunting or something, big game hunting.
He looks like he could identify whoever's sitting in the top row of the stadium.
Look at him. He calls that play, and he's looking right at those linemen. They don't miss a thing. Got to get that snap count, man.
Yeah, he could find a hawk in a tree, I bet you. 2nd and 10. White back to throw again. Butch Johnson hangs on, knocked out of bounds, but that's a complete pass and a one heck of a catch.
I think Butch Johnson is raising his hands. Let me come out for a play.
I'll tell you what. Well, in a minute.
I'll tell you, he really gets it here, doesn't he? He's running an out pattern now. Now he's going to be double covered right there. You see a linebacker with him. Now he breaks away from it, and it's a zone. Now watch the hit. He's completely extended, catches a ball, and he really took a shot on that thing.
That was Wayne Smith that hit him, and that's the second time Butch has been hit like that today. One was in practice.
We saw it in the pregame warm-up, and who do you think would hit him? There's only one guy. His own guy hit him, Bill Bates.
And almost knocked him out. White just barely gets the ball to Dorsett. And Dorsett gets around the corner. Inside the 10 to about the 8. It'll be first and goal. Lionel Washington knocked him out of bounds. 10 yards for Dorsett.
Yeah, we were talking last night with Jim Hannafin. He said the two things we have to do is stop Tony Dorsett. That's number one. Everyone tries to do that. And the next thing is to rush Danny White. And the last two plays, we've seen unsuccess of that. Danny White had some time to throw it, and of course Tony Dorsett just ran for a first down.
Cardinals leading 7-0. 6:21 left to play in the first quarter. But the Cowboys have it first and goal at the 8. Tough spot. Not as much room to operate as further out the field. Springs on the inside. Gets a good block. And Dorsett scrambles down to the 1. Ron Springs, the move man on that play, and he got a good block.
That was a heck of a block by Ron Springs. He came in like a guard. He trapped the defensive tackle. Let's see if we can see it right here. Now, see him coming in motion. Now, watch that that block right there on Grooms. That was the one that sprung Dorsett through. I'll tell you, that Springs does a lot. You know, he runs with the ball, he catches the ball, he blocks.
He's closing in on Frank Clark's all-time Cowboy record for number of receptions in a season. His best year ever by far. They'll go to him right now, I imagine. Springs. Dorsett, and the officials now signal touchdown Dallas.
Look at it right here. He's the second back. He's the far back here. It's just going to be a straight dive. Cosby leads off. Here he comes, a little reverse pivot by the quarterback. Shoulder squared, just boom, just push that thing right across the goal line. A lot of bodies and stuff in this.
That's the first play you ever were taught back in high school. Straight ahead handoff.
Man-to-man blocking.
Right.
Pit drill.
71 yards, 9 plays. Remember, the Cardinal touchdown was 71 yards. Raphael's Septien trying to tie it up, and he does. It's Cowboys 7, Cardinals 7. 5:34 left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. We got a good football game coming. Ron Springs. 2 rushes, 7 yards, but perhaps he did more on the previous play before the touchdown.
On this play, he did. Watch him right here. He's right here. He's going to come in motion. Now, Herbert Scott, the guard here, he influences Alois Grooms to the outside, and Springs comes in here and traps him right here, and that gives Dorsett the hole. Watch the play. Here's Springs here, the outside and the right-hand side. He starts in motion. Now watch, see, here's Grooms. He doesn't see him coming. Boom, right there. And that Springs Dorsett. And that was the big play that got him down there.
Springs Dorsett.
I like that. Springs sprang.
Raphael Septien will kick off. And back deep for the Cardinals. In the middle is Stump Mitchell. Willard Harrell and Randy Love back there with him. This is going to be Randy Love from Houston. To about the 28, stopped by Everson Wall. Don't forget, tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Time, there's college football on CBS Sports. Alabama against Boston College. Ray Perkins, Crimson Tide, 7-2, headed for the Sun Bowl against college football's little big man, Doug Flutie, the exciting quarterback of the bowl-bound BC Eagles. So join us for all the action tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. Right here on CBS Sports. Time remaining first quarter at Texas Stadium with the score tied 7 apiece. Dallas 7, St. Louis 7. Wayne Morris, the ball carrier, got about 3. Anthony Dickerson on the stop.
One thing, you know, that Cardinal offensive line is a big group. and they would like to get in there and handle this Cowboy defensive line and kind of wear them down today. You know, you talk about big guys. Look at that Lewis Sharp there. He weighs about 285 pounds, left tackle. Right tackle, Tootie Robbins is 295 pounds.
Or more.
Or more. They just want to pound on those guys today.
2nd and 6. Line of scrimmage, the Cardinal 34. Lomax back to throw. He has some time. Nice chase by Harvey Martin. Ducks under Harvey. Gets the ball away. Greg LaFleur, a fumble. Cardinals got it back, I believe. Tootie Robbins might have made the recovery.
I'll tell you who made the recovery there was Neil Lomax, and recovering his head, because watch from his backside here, the left side of the screen, Harvey Martin is going to show up. Now watch him, he starts, now watch, here comes Harvey right there. Boom, he ducks under, escapes that thing. Now he's able to buy some time, get up, and find his tight end, Greg LaFleur. Now LaFleur puts the ball out there a little too much, and as he's running the ball, he swings that thing, and that's how he fumbled it.
And lost the first down, so it's 3rd and short. And remember what happened the last time on 3rd and short. 71 yards and a touchdown. You think they might do it again? Nope. Anderson, we won't get it. Maybe they should have done it. Harvey Martin was the first man there. Poor old Harvey's had a tough year, and yesterday on the way to practice, someone ran through a red light and demolished his automobile. He was looking in a bad way yesterday at practice.
And demolished Harvey. He didn't even practice yesterday. When we arrived at the Dallas practice field, Harvey was in the training room lying down on a table with a big knot on his head. He has had his problems, but maybe that's his motivation. You know, he's had that bankruptcy problem.
Maybe. Ron Fellows back deep for Dallas. Carl Birdsong shanks it off the side of his foot. He was the leading punter until that one, both in total yardage and in net yardage. That's 22 yards, no return, but the net is still 22. And that won't get it done. He's had a good year up until then. Pat Summerall, John Madden, Texas Stadium. Cardinals 7, Cowboys 7. Cowboys trying to stay even with the Redskins, and the Cardinals trying to keep those playoff hopes alive. In case you didn't know, Detroit demolished Pittsburgh earlier today. So all that little playoff losses and wins and what have you is still very much alive, and the Cardinals are in that picture. Tries to shake the cornerback Lionel Washington and can't get it done. Lee Nelson came over with an assist.
Someone left their hat out there.
Somebody will come back for it. It's Herbert Scott.
Herbert Scott, yeah, you have to use one of those to play. You know, Pat Donovan, the left tackle, was saying last week, he was telling Greg Aiello, the Cowboy PR man, he says, you know, we ought to put for sale signs on our helmets.
Because the team is for sale.
Yeah, each player is for sale, I guess. Did you see him walking around for sale? I'm for sale, you're for sale.
Does the helmet go with the player?
Yeah, that's the whole deal. You buy everything, helmets, gloves.
2nd and 8. White back to throw. Outside Dorsett with a blocker. But not enough blockers as E.J. Jr. comes over to make the play. He is one of the most active linebackers in the NFL. Here's Drew Pearson. First game he's ever missed because of an injury that occurred during competition. He hurt himself spiking the ball a few years back, and there he is. Looks very dapper, doesn't he?
He does look dapper, and he was saying yesterday if they were playing on Saturday, on Sunday, if they played on Saturday, you got a story. But if they were playing on Sunday, he'd be all right. But the short week, he just couldn't do it.
Looks like he could be in London. That outfit. From the shotgun. White. Tony Hill had it. Had the first down. Lionel Washington hit him. But perhaps he should have held that one.
I think so, because I think he was starting to drop the ball before Lionel Washington hit him. Watch this. He gets turned around now. Now watch, the ball will be there, and he'll start to bobble it before Washington gets there. You see that? Now maybe the hit made him not be able to recover it, but he was bobbling it before Washington was there.
The ball just went right through his hands up against his body, and if it had not been for the hit, I think you're right. He'd have been able to recover. Juggled it, maybe. Danny White. Good high kick that will be up there a long time. Stump Mitchell takes it. Stump got some room. Danny. Bruce Huther is the man who got him in midair and took him down. There's a penalty flag down, and Chuck Heberling, the referee, will let us know. 42-yard punt, 10-yard return by the Stump.
Illegal block from behind above the waist.
Almost every kick, it seems, from Landry and his quarterback, Danny White.
And Tom's not talking about that punt either. He's talking about the third down play,
which was not Danny White's fault.
I was telling him Tony Hill should have had that.
148.
Return. Illegal block from the rear. Number 26 on the return team. First down.
Landry saying, let's get the ball. Let's get the ball. Let's see if we can see one of those illegal blocks. There's one right there. There's another one right there. There's two. There's a third guy trying. Darn near had a trifecta there.
3 illegal blocks all in a row.
From behind, above the waist.
Now it's Anderson in motion, and this is Lomax outside, intended for the tight end Doug Marsh, and knocked away by Mike Hegman. A very steady performer.
I think Neil Lomax was trying to go to his outside receiver, who was running a post pattern, and he was covered, so he came off to his tight end, the secondary receiver, Doug Marsh. And, of course, the linebacker, Mike Hegman, was with him all the way.
1:44, clock stop first quarter, 7-7. Cardinals will go with 2 tight ends now, LaFleur and Marsh. This is a situation where Jim Hannafin said we just have to be patient enough to run the ball. Otis Anderson is the runner, and he does. And Randy White comes soaring over to take him to the turf.
Well, you were right on that. Jim Hannafin did say on 2nd and long we have to be patient enough to run, but it would also be good if you blocked Randy White, especially when you run away from him. See, the guard pulls, so Randy White gets right in behind him. You see, when you run away from Randy White, you either have to block the center back on him or keep that guard. You can't let him go.
It makes it a lot easier to run if you block him. 3rd and 8. The ball's at the 14. Lomax out of the shotgun. Going deep. Flag is down as Dennis Thurman and Roy Green had some contact.
And that's on Dennis Thurman. He put his arm out and pushed Roy Green.
I think Roy Green pushed him first. Let's watch when we get through with Heberling's call.
I saw the second push.
Against Dennis Thurman.
That's the same one the official saw, I guess.
Watch Roy Green. I bet you he pushes Thurman first.
See, now, after 5 yards, Thurman can't touch him. See, he starts here. He's going to run it out and up. That's the one I saw right there. The left hand up on Roy Green's right shoulder.
First down, 32.
23-yard penalty on the pass interference. They both had their arms up.
Look at Roy Green's hand. He was pointing back to him. Hey, you can't do that.
Lomax gets some breathing room with 57 seconds left to play, and Anderson slips on the artificial surface at Texas Stadium. Got a yard, maybe. John Dutton made sure that he stayed down because of the running play. The clock continues. Over on the Cardinal bench, or standing in front of the Cardinal bench, members of the defense.
The defensive line, they're kind of like offensive linemen. You know, they always kind of get in a group over in there, get a little ice and a little water and stuff, and talk over what's happening to them.
Clock running with 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter as Lomax gives inside to Anderson. Anderson breaks away from one. He's got Lomax out in front trying to block. Anderson still spins and turns nothing into something.
Lomax made a pretty nice block there, didn't he? You know, they started, the play was supposed to go to the left. Otis Anderson got out there, couldn't find anything. Lomax sees him. Watch this, it's supposed to be a run to the left. You see the guard pull, little collision there. Otis Anderson said, I don't have anything there. I better go back to the other side. There's 15, Lomax, but for a quarterback, not bad. He gets down there around those knees, and that gives Otis Anderson something to break off of.
Tell you what, Harvey Martin made one heck of a play. He wrecked the play at the beginning, and he ran Anderson down from behind. 7-7 tie into one. Start the second quarter at Texas Stadium with the score tied at 7. 3rd and 2 for the Cardinals. Two tight ends, Anderson, the lone setback. 3rd and short. Look out. To Green. Thurman gets him out of bounds, but Lomax throws well. First down, Cardinals.
That's not a bad play on 3rd and 2 or 3 because it's really a long way to run. So you just run a little quick out of short out. Look, he goes up about 5 or 6 yards. Thurman is playing off. He knows that Green can go deep. He knows he had speed. He gives him that cushion. So the Cardinals just take it and pick up an easy first down.
And they move into Dallas territory.
That's a good call.
Yes, it is. Line of scrimmage. The Dallas 48, 1st and 10. Cardinals on the move. Send Green in motion left. Thurman went with it. Tilly over his head. Harrison Walls back on the coverage with him.
That's one thing about these two wide receivers. You know, you can't spend all your time on Roy Green because they have Pat Tilley on the other side. He's already caught 38 passes, 4 touchdowns, so he's a threat on that side too. And if you start doubling on Green, then they're going to find a way to get the ball to Tilley.
Yeah, Too Tall Jones looking on. And now ready. Morris and Anderson on 2nd and 10. Let's see if they're patient. Here comes the Dallas blitz. Anthony Dickerson. Lomax saw it coming and just ducked under Dickerson wisely because Brunig was right there as well.
Well, that was the thing that he said that he couldn't do, and we'll see what happens here. We'll see the freedom come right up here. They get the tackles in here, then they get the 2 coming up, so they get 4 on 3 right up the middle. Lomax sees it, knows that he doesn't have a chance, and he goes right down. Now watch what happens in there in the middle. Here comes the 2 up the middle. See, they can block 1. They don't get the second one, and then Dickerson comes from the outside. So they had 4 on 3 in the middle and 1 free from the outside.
Here they come again. Downs was offside as they go deep. Rod Fellows back there with Mike Schumann, who was the intended receiver that time. But Downs was offside before the play ever got started.
Let's see if we can see Michael Downs here. He's going to be in the lower right part of the screen right here. Here he comes now. He's trying to time it. He's trying to get up there just as a ball snap. He gets there a little too soon. He breaks that neutral zone, and of course they catch him for it.
26 defense.
So it'll still be 3rd down. And it's 3rd and long, and you'd have to bet if you were coaching against them that they'll be sending somebody again.
I'll tell you, it seems to me like the Cowboys every year are blitzing more and more. I think this season they're blitzing more and more every game.
They have 4 down linemen. They're not showing blitz at the moment. Lomax in the pocket finally throws intended for Anderson, who was covered by Dickerson. And Anderson might have been, his view might have been blocked just a little bit. No penalty marker, so it'll be 4th down, and Carl Birdsong will come on. Gary Allen, by the way, probably will not be back. He'll have his knee diagnosed, whatever the ailment is, at the half. But the word we have is he probably won't be back, so it'll be up to Fellows and probably Rod Hill to bring back kickoffs. Birdsong standing at his own 35. He missed the first one. He didn't get all of this one either. Fellows. to the 30. Good return. 24-yard punt, 13-yard return, 11 yards on the net. Not very good for the conference leader. A very handsome family and a very capable quarterback. Danny White. Early in the year, he took some abuse, but most of that seems to have calmed down because his record of performance really is unmatched, except by Joe Theismann. Dupree is the man in motion. Dorsett is now the man in motion. Fumble! I think the Cardinals got it.
The Cardinals do have it, but there was a penalty on the play, too.
I think the Cardinals were offside. Looked like there was some jumping and shuffling over on their defensive left side. Perrin made the recovery. Dorsett lost the ball. It's against the Cardinals. You can see it coming up right here, I think. Maybe Curtis Greer. Huh?
Let's see if we can see it. It was one of the defensive linemen jumped. Now watch, here's 75, Curtis Greer here. Looks like it was him right there. Yep, he started to jump. You see the linebacker started outside with motion, and I think Greer jumped.
So did Baker. There were two of them that jumped. So they'll walk it off, and that would have helped the Cardinal situation quite a bit. They've been able to come up with that fumbled recovery. It would have been
Offside
their ball at
defense.
the 35.
Number 75, first down.
Curtis Greer, you're right.
You know what caused that? The linebacker behind Greer was E.J. Jr., and he had to move to adjust to the motion. I think the motion and the movement made him jump.
White back to throw, 1st and 5. Does. Butch Johnson has it. Dallas first down their own 48. Wayne Smith, the defender, 13-yard games, just a one-on-one.
I'll tell you, it is one-on-one out here, but Danny White really zips that ball in there. It's just a hook pattern. Now watch Butch Johnson. He comes off, he gets Wayne Smith going back, gives him a little move to the outside, and then curls back to the inside, and that ball is delivered right there at the waist where Smith can't get around to do anything about it.
Butch moved back to the ball, moved back to the passer. That's the way you'd like to see it done.
That's the way you're supposed to do it, you know, but it's not a natural thing. As the ball's coming to you, to move back into it.
White will go up on top again. He fakes to Dorsett, screens to Springs with blockers. To the 45 of St. Louis, Lee Nelson tripped him up. That play looked in the beginning like it would get a lot more than it did.
But you know why? I think anytime you fake to Dorsett, he draws a crowd. You know, Dorsett was out here to the left. He fakes out there to them. A bunch of Cardinals run there, and then he throws it over to the other side to Springs. Now watch it. Dorsett is on the left. Springs is on the right. He fakes to Springs, comes out here, fakes out here to Dorsett. Now watch those guys start running out there, turns back, throws out here to Springs, and he has a good screen going, 3 guys in front of him, but Lee Nelson makes a tackle.
Dorsett is the lone setback on 2nd and 4. The screen got 6, and Cosby goes in motion. This is Dorsett. He's got the first down inside the Cardinal 40. They'll probably mark it there as he bounced. Charlie Baker tripped him up. Danny White is 11 out of 14.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, or last week, Tony Dorsett was complaining about the Cowboys' running game and says they weren't running well, they weren't running enough, they weren't blocking well. He had a 100-yard game last week, and maybe sometimes you just have to talk about it, because look at all those games that he went less than 100. Then after the San Diego game, he complained about it, and he went from 58 yards to 108 yards.
This is Springs with the ball, and he does well to hold on to it as the Cardinals, led by David Galloway, are all over him just as he got the handoff.
Again, now watch Springs get the ball here, and the one thing you have to stop on a running play is a penetration. You see, the center went out. David Galloway was over the center. He gets penetration. Springs just didn't even get started.
Nobody blocked him. David Galloway.
That's why he has a smile on his face. He said, I love it when they don't block me. I get down there over that center and they don't block me. That's good stuff.
Another huge guy from the University of Florida. On 2nd down White throw. Will try to throw. Gets out of the pocket. Gets it to Dorsett, who gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And once again, it's E.J. Jr. who's there to knock him out of bounds. White under pressure.
I'll tell you, that's one thing that Danny White can do, is he can get away from pressure and buy a little time and find his receiver.
Now the Cowboys send in Timmy Newsom. Dorsett gets a rest. Cosby comes out to the left along with Butch Johnson. Tony Hill is wide to the right. It's Newsom and Springs, the two backs. White will operate with a snap from Rafferty. Going deep for Hill. No flags, no reception. They'll have to punt. Lionel Washington right back there with him. Good defense.
That was good defense by the Cardinals, but I still feel in that situation is where the Cowboys are really going to miss Drew Pearson today, because they don't have that 3 or 4 wide receivers in there. On that play, they really used Doug Cosby as a wide receiver. Doug Cosby's a good tight end, but he leaves a little to be desired as a wide receiver.
Cosby says, hey, I'm not that good a wide receiver. White kicking. Aiming again for out of bounds. This time it might work. No! Rod Fellows was down there, had the ball cut off at the pass, and backed into the end zone. A flag is down. 40-yard punt, no return, 20-yard net. If he hadn't backed up, the Cardinals would have been backed up to their 1-yard line.
That guy threw a hat, too. Did you see him? He lost his flag and his hat. He might have a couple of deals in there, and it's probably one of those things. See, he doesn't have his hat, so he threw his hat. He threw his flag. He has his bean bag.
That's serious. Still got his whistle.
But it might be one of those deals, no penalty, nothing. They do that, so they throw a lot of stuff, then it means nothing.
There is no foul on the play. It's the St. Louis ball, 1st and 10.
That's what happened. They throw all that stuff and then.
Watch this.
Here's Ron Fellows. Now, if he had not been in the end zone, this would have been a pretty good play. But look, he's inside. He said, oh, no!
I can't believe what I just did. Score is still 7-7. Here's that play again. Fellows backing up toward the end zone. Here's the ball up in the upper left-hand side of your picture. Now hits the ground. And now he just keeps backing up. And now what did I do? Why did I do it? Bill Bates down there to congratulate him anyway on a good effort.
Bill Bates may have been down there to hit him.
First down, Cardinals, their own 20. Lomax gives to Anderson. And nothing doing. He doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Hegman and John Dutton right there.
That's one thing the Cowboys do well from that flex defense, is they play the first down run very, very well.
There's their average on first down. St. Louis 2.0 and Dallas 4.6. And here's the situation again, not to belabor the point, where Jim Hannafin said, I hope in this situation, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, we're patient enough, smart enough to just run it. Well, they are, but it doesn't work. Wayne Morris, the ball carrier, and right there, Randy White.
I'll tell you, Randy White has really taken care of that strategy, because the last 2 times that they had 2nd and long and they ran the ball, Randy White made the play. Watch him. He's 54 right here, right in front of us there. He takes on Steve there. See, he's so doggone strong. Look, he just pushes him off. Another guy, he doesn't even feel him, right down there, and he just manhandles Wayne Morris.
That was Larry Bethea who gave the assist, but now in a passing situation, or what appears to be one, Harvey Martin is back. Lomax will operate from the shotgun. Lomax in the pocket, batted down by Ed Jones. That is his 12th knockdown of the year.
And I'll tell you why, because he gets a push, he gets a rush. Now, that's what he's supposed to do. But the minute that he sees that quarterback raise back, now watch, he's watching the quarterback. When he sees him put up his arm, he puts up his hands. You see it? He did it once, he got a pump, and then he did it again. Too Tall always stops his rush when the quarterback and puts his hands up.
And that makes him even more Too Tall. Good kick this time by Birdsong. Fellows retreats to his 35, now to his 33. He's got a blocker. Got one good block. Oh, what a good block by Newhouse to spring this thing. Aarons finally took him down. 48-yard punt, 14-yard return. But Newhouse put a solid hit on one of the Cardinals. Leonard Smith took a shot from Newhouse.
I'll tell you, and he's still down. Watch it. Here it is right here. Here comes Newhouse. Smith was chasing. Whap! Right there, and that got Fellows to the outside.
Boy, you have to admire a guy like Newhouse, who started as a regular for so many years, now on special teams and doing a whale of a job. Pat Summerall, John Madden at sold-out Texas Stadium. We thought it would be close. We thought it would be high scoring. It's 7-7. We have 8:59 left to play in the first half. The Cowboys in their best starting position of the game so far. Dorsett goes deep. Springs in front of him. Johnson in motion. Cardinals are offside. Dorsett struggles back to the line of scrimmage, but the Cardinals jumped offside. I think it was E.J. Jr.
I think it was a left tackle jump, because you know what happens on that one? It was Danny White's cadence, and he was given that hut, 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 and the guy jumped on the second hut. It's a guy right over the right guard. Let's see if we can see it. It's right over the right guard here. Now watch. They had it. It's hut, hut. He hears hut, and he thought the ball was snapped. Watch. He just throws his body into that neutral zone.
Offside defense, number 65. First down.
By the way, as I mentioned a minute ago, that's the 12th pass batted down by Ed Jones just a minute ago, and that sets a new Cowboy record. Too Tall had knocked down 11 back in 1980. That's his 12th of this year. 1st and 5 in Cardinal territory at their 46, and White will go. Cosby to the 34 of St. Louis. Down in the hands of Kurt Mullerman.
I'll tell you, that's one thing about being so big. You know, you can muscle a linebacker and run faster than a linebacker. You can muscle the secondary and beat a linebacker. Now watch Cosby here. He has a linebacker, the middle linebacker, Kurt Mullerman on him. He just gets a couple of steps on him. But that's really something when you're that big and you can get a safety in the middle and then get away from a linebacker. Oh, does that make sense?
Yeah, oh yeah. It does to me.
Muscle a secondary guy and beat a linebacker.
Oh, exactly what you mean. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 33. Cowboys in the sunlight on Thanksgiving. Dorsett straight ahead for a couple, not much more. Cardinals play a 4-man front, but a rather unusual 4-man front. Not like the flex, not like so many other teams.
Well, they always play what they call an under. They always have a man over the nose tackle, over the center. They have a man over the weak side guard and weak side end. So they undershift their defense or shift it to the weak side away from the tight end.
That time they had a stunt going. White gets quickly outside, intended for Tony Hill. Another pass that perhaps Ron Springs, not Tony Hill. Charlie Baker out there with him. Springs started to run a little quickly.
Well, that was good coverage by Charlie Baker. You know, that's one thing that a quarterback will always look for, is to get his running back, especially his good receiver, Ron Springs, isolated on a linebacker. He has him isolated on Charlie Baker, and Baker just gets that right hand in there. Look, he knocked it down with the back of his hand. Backhand job.
Well, that is a good play. Butch Johnson goes out wide to the right. Cosby lines up in the slot. Springs is over there on the right as well. Out of the shotgun is Danny White. Has Springs. Springs slipped, and he'll be about a yard short of the first down. Cedric Mack, who was an extra defensive back for the Cardinals, made the hit.
This is going to be an interesting call for Tom Landry right here. He's well within Rafael Septien's range. Do you go for the field goal or do you go for the first down?
If it's me, I got to go field goal.
If it's Tom Landry, you go first down. If it's fans, they love it.
Very popular. It would be 40 yards out or 41 for Septien, and as you say, well within his range. They're going to go. They need a full 1 yard. Andy White asking for quiet. 6.5 minutes left to play first half. Springs and Dorsett, and they go to Dorsett, and he has it. Cardinals, of course, are saying he doesn't have it. We've been robbed. Cowboys are saying we got it. We'll keep it. Dick Nolan alongside Landry. Cardinals are saying no.
Cardinals are celebrating, but this, again, is one of those right foot, left foot jobs. Wherever they put the foot is where they put the ball.
They probably will have to measure, and the Cardinals still saying,
I don't think they got it.
No, I don't think they did either.
The Cowboys are walking off the field. Tom Landry's asking Dick Nolan, what happened?
Dick doesn't know. He coaches the wide receivers.
See it from here. That's not a first down.
No, it's not. I thought he had it when he first ducked under the pile. But from that measurement and that marking, he almost didn't get anything.
I thought you see Jim Hannafin. He had both fists up there. Had a way to go. Defense, okay. Sometimes a play like that can turn a game around.
So it's still 7-7. It's 6:28 left to play in the first half. The Cardinals and the Cowboys all even. Texas Stadium, a Thanksgiving Day match between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. 6:28 left to play. First half. St. Louis 5th possession of the day. They have 1 touchdown and 3 punts. Green, the dangerous man, comes wide right. Tilley also dangerous wide left. Lomax going to work on first down. Lomax down on first down. Ducks under the arms of John Dutton, and then Randy White was right there.
I'll tell you, I think he had Roy Green out here on the corner pattern, but you have to give that one to the defensive line because he just didn't have a chance. Watch it, the 2 tackles in the middle. There's Dutton on the left, Randy White on the right. Randy White beats Steve, runs over Otis Anderson, knocks another guy out of the way, and sacks the quarterback. Whew. Watch Roy Green here. He's running a corner pattern on Everson Walls. He gets him turned around. He had a shot out here, but he just didn't have time.
Walls comes out with Green again. This time he'll have some help. They run with Anderson. White is in the backfield immediately. Fumble. Dallas has it.
They better block Randy White. He comes first. Here's Harvey Martin. Randy White gets in there. He makes something happen here. Now watch. Here comes Harvey Martin. Gets him on the left. Takes that right hand. Throws that around and strips it out of Otis Anderson.
And Dexter Clinkscale comes up with the ball.
Harvey Martin caused it. I'll tell you, if they're going to run away, they better start blocking that backside because that's where they're having the trouble.
So Dallas has the ball at the Cardinal 14. Springs moves Dorsett up on the flank. White now does the same thing, and Dorsett now goes in motion. To Springs. Ron Springs pounds inside the 5.
Let's watch this. The big block here was from the left guard, Herbert Scott. It was a trap play. Now watch him right here. Watch Herbert Scott. He's going to pull this way and gets a big block out here to Spring, Ron Spring. Watch the left guard here. He pulls across. Here's a trap. You see they let the end go. Boom, right there. And then Springs cuts back away from it.
They're bringing out the sticks to see if Springs got enough for the first down. Not quite. About a foot short. Well, small foot. Phil Posderick, who in this situation sometimes winds up on the left side, and Donovan moves to the right side as a tight end, which of course means he has to tell the official.
That's exactly what's happening out there right now. Pat Donovan signaled to the official he'll be a tight end. Phil Posderick will play left tackle in their short yardage offense.
Dupree and Cosby outside Posderick on the left side, and Donovan is the tight end on the right side. Cosby in motion. White lobs. Incomplete. You saw Tom Landry say, "Come on, Danny."
I think what he was saying is, "Come on, Danny, was such a great fake, you probably could have just run the ball into the end zone." Watch this fake. They really sell this. Now watch the back dives in there. Here's Danny White. He's looking for Dupree. I think right now he's just going to run the ball right in the end zone. He thought he had Dupree, but there's E.J. Jr. right with him.
On third down, Newhouse comes in the contest, and Springs leads. Newhouse, I think there's some confusion, but if he comes in, he's got to stay there for one play, and so he does.
That, to me, is illegal. They had 12 men in the offensive huddle.
Give to Dorsett. And Dorsett behind Richard.
Watch Howard Richards. He's number 70 there, his right guard. Now watch him pull. The thing that Dorsett does, he sets up the block. Wait. He waits for Richard, waits, lets him make the block right there, and then boom, just right into the end zone. You see how he just waited and got right in there behind Howard Richards, then whap, right in the end zone.
Richards' block on Leonard Smith is what sprung it. Septien with Carano holding. 14-7 Dallas. Here it is again.
I'll tell you, they can do this as well as anyone. Take the ball to the outside. Cosby blocks down. Look, they shut the whole inside off. Here comes Richards right at us here. Dorsett waits for him. Let him get that block on Smith. That's all I need, Howard.
There's a young man who's played tackle, both guards, and done them all very well. Howard Richards. Scored the touchdown for the Cowboys, his mother and father on his flanks in that last Thanksgiving Day greeting. And for them, that last effort by their son should be helpful for a happy Thanksgiving. Back deep is Stump Mitchell, and he's got that sun right in his eyes. Line drive kickoff. Bounces to Stump. At the 10. Stump Mitchell cut down by Ron Fellows. Gets out to about the 28-yard line where the Cardinals will take over, and now they trail 14-7. Something about this year for the Cowboys that every week, although it's not quite true, they seem to have to come from behind. And they've done it successfully 10 times, or 9. Cardinal pinch. Carlavecchio, who was injured earlier, seems to be okay now, and Lomax under pressure again. Down he goes in the hands of Dickerson with Bethea, and Too Tall Jones all over him. He was looking at Tilley out there with Thurman. That's the 3rd sack by the Cowboys. He hasn't got a chance.
No, he didn't. Let's watch Too Tall Jones here. He's going there against Tootie Robbins. He gets rid of him. And then I'll tell you, when he's coming right in the quarterback's face, that's a tough doggone thing to throw out there, because he was trying to find Pat Tilley. Now watch Tilley. He's out here in the left, and that's where Neil Lomax was looking. But by the time he looked up, it was too late. Good coverage by Dennis Thurman there.
Very good. Lomax operates from the shotgun now. They have extra defensive backs in. Forward handoff, Too Tall. Reads it perfectly. Good play by Jones.
Well, I think the Cowboy defense has figured out that the Cardinals are trying to run on 2nd and long. Because watch Too Tall here. He's in that left-handed stance now. He reads the run right now. See, he started up. The minute he sees run, he stops his rush, and he's right there in position to make the tackle.
Slipped inside the blocker, and too tall. Having another good year. 3:40 left to play in the first half. Cowboys up 14-7, third and very long. Here comes Downs on the blitz. They pick it up. Now they can't pick up everybody. It's batted down by Bates. Randy White put the heat on.
There's Bill Bates. He's just all over the field. Beware of Bill Bates, bully Bill Bates. He just wanders around. He starts to cover, then he starts to rush, and then Omi knocks the pass down, stays in on special teams, makes tackles, blocks. I'll tell you, the fans are starting. Oh, he's a cult hero.
Right. One sign said Bates for president. That might be a little much. Birdsong back to punt. Good kick as Fellows looks away from the first man down, but the Cardinals are down in good shape, and Fellows gets back to about the Dallas 38. 45-yard punt. The net is 38. Fellows brought it back 7. So the Cowboys will take over with a first down at their own 39 with 3:20 left to play first half. Jim Hannafin in conversation with his Cardinals Saturday. What a day on CBS Sports. NCAA. Kansas Jayhawks against Houston. Larry Brown's debut. And Nebraska, Oklahoma, plus in certain parts of the nation, Vanderbilt against Tennessee and Arizona against Arizona State. First down, Cowboys at Texas Stadium. Dorsett, the lone setback, and Cosby in motion. Maybe 2, maybe not that much. Curtis Greer on the bottom of the pile. Talking to Jim Hannafin, excuse me, John, last night, I got the impression that he felt that the Cardinals were very close to being a legitimate contender and being a very good team.
Well, of course, in the last 6 games, they've been playing that well. They're 4-1-1. Earlier, he said they had a lot of injuries, first of all, but he felt they were just self-destructing.
Ball's at the 40. Right back to throw. Going deep for Tony Hill, who comes up with it. Dallas pass completion. Lionel Washington made the stop, but Hill has it, and Dallas will have a first down at the 18, and White is very slow getting to his feet.
Let's watch Tony Hill out there. He's just going to run it up. You see, he just starts. It's just a sprint. He really didn't even make a move. He just sprinted. He looks, the ball's a little underthrown, which isn't a bad thing. Brings him back just enough, and he makes the big play.
See what happened to Danny White.
I'll tell you, he got hit right here. I think it was Al Baker, number 60, who hits him right here just as he throws. Watch him. He throws right. It was Baker. He just planted his helmet right on his chest and drove him into the turf.
Does that remind you of last year and Dexter Manley's hit on him in the championship game? Almost the same thing. 2-minute warning. Dallas 14, St. Louis 7. Here's the situation. 14-7, Dallas leading second quarter. 2 minutes remaining. 3 timeouts for both teams remaining. And the Cowboys in good shape. At the St. Louis 17, first and 10. Danny White appeared to have his wrist jammed or something. Went over and started squeezing the football on the sideline during that break. But now he's back in the huddle and appears to be okay. Look at the total offense in the second quarter. St. Louis -10. The Cowboys 101. White back to throw. See if he is okay. He's got Ron Springs. Springs looking for some place to go, and there is nothing there as Benny Perrin makes a good defensive play for the Cardinals with David Galloway out there to help.
That's a funny place to call a screen pass on the 20-yard line to a back, because the defense isn't going to be driven deep. They only have 20 yards to go to the goal line, so they're all up there pretty tight. You can't drive them off.
Jim Hannafin, very popular head coach. In fact, Dan Deerdorf, the veteran and very, very fine offensive lineman for the Cardinals, paid him quite a tribute. He said, I would have probably quit 2 years ago. He's going to retire after this year if it hadn't been for you. Johnson started in motion. White gives to Dorsett. Dorsett to the 15. Charlie Baker came over to lead the Cardinal defense. Clock still running. Butch Johnson had a good block. Minute to play.
You see who it was on? It was on a defensive tackle. It was on Stafford Mays. Butch Johnson, wide receiver, came in motion and went in and blocked the defensive tackle. I never had a wide receiver that would do that. I think if I ever said, hey, Fred Blitnikoff or Cliff Branch, why don't you go in there and block that defensive tackle? Weighs about 280. They'd look and say, huh? You do it.
Maybe that's why they played so long.
They stayed out wide.
They still have 3 timeouts, the Cowboys do. They haven't called one yet. Out of the shotgun, here comes the Cardinal blitz. They go in the corner. Touchdown! Butch Johnson took it away. Butch, not quite a quake. Lionel Washington was the Cardinal defender. Butch just took it away.
Butch started to do a quake, and then he shook his head. No, I can't do it. There's a local radio station here that said if he would do it, they would pay him $3,000 and pay his fine. He looked like he started and said, nope, I have too much respect for Coach Tom Landry.
That was just a trimmer, not a quake.
That was something like we had down in Tampa last Sunday. What do you call those things? Tornadoes.
Yes.
Warnings.
Severe. Septien makes it Dallas 21, St. Louis 7. Here's the touchdown again.
And here's how it looks to Danny White. He has good protection in there. See, they seal off that middle, and that stunt, he just throws it up. It's a little short again. A heck of a reaction by Butch Johnson. Look, he starts to do it. I watch, he'll shake his head.
That's about a...
He said, no, can't do it.
That's about a 1.5 on the Richter scale.
Here's another shot. The Cardinals are trying to do a stunt. See, they're looping in there in the line. The Cowboys pick it up. The ball is thrown a little short, and Butch just takes it away.
Yep. He didn't cause any buildings to crumble with that. In conversation with Dr. Marvin Knight. Coming up at the half. The NFL Today with highlights of this game, the Pittsburgh-Detroit highlights that wrapped earlier today, and an interview with an old friend of ours who we got to know quite well when he was the head coach of the Giants, Ray Perkins, now the head man of the Crimson Tide, University of Alabama. Raphael Septien will kick off, and Stump Mitchell back deep for the Cardinals. Bruce Huther and by Bill Bates. His stump is rather slow.
I tell you, that Bill Bates will rattle you. He just, when he's on the football field, he seems to be wherever the action is. Tom Landry was saying the other day that this guy here, Bill Bates, is the most consistent thing about the Dallas Cowboys.
A rookie defensive back from Tennessee. And here it is dangerous to get close to him. Lomax. And you wonder what Jim Hannafin has decided to do now. Will he go ahead and take a shot at getting on the scoreboard, or will he just be comfortable to run it out? Well, that ought to answer it.
I would take a timeout right now and take a shot, though.
Wayne Morris up the middle for a first down. Harvey Martin on the bottom of the pile made the stop, but they let the clock run. Down to 6 seconds. And they'll apparently be happy to go like that to the locker room. So the end of half number 1 as Hannafin takes his troops to the locker room and Landry strolls in that direction with his. Cowboys leading at Texas Stadium 21-7 over the Cardinals. Okay, Drew, you nerve. Thank you very much. The Cardinals came into this game thinking that they had to maintain composure on 2nd and long. If they got into a situation where the Cowboys used one of those multiple back defenses, they said they had to be patient enough to run. But you got to block those folks on the offside, and you got to block them on 1st down as well.
That's a problem that they have. I think in order for the Cardinals to be able to throw the ball and get the ball out there to Pat Tilley and Roy Green, they have to be able to run. In the first half, they only gained 25 yards rushing. Now, Otis Anderson, who has to be the big guy for him, has only gained 9 yards and 7 carries. So I think if the Cardinals are going to get back in this game, they're going to have to start getting that thing blocked so Otis Anderson can get some running room.
Let us show you right now some of the things that they have to get done if they're going to be able to run. Watch number 54, Randy White.
Well, of course, it's the backside. You see, when they run to the right here, you see Randy White, he's coming in from the backside. They have to do something. They can't let that guard pull and leave Randy White alone.
Of course, the other guy on that side is number 79, who's having a good day, Harvey Martin. Watch what he does on the backside now.
Well, it's the same type of thing. You see the tackle steps down, and here comes Harvey from the backside, and we're going to see him come in and make a big play here. He strips the ball carrier right here. See with his right hand, and that's a big fumble recovery for the Cowboys.
Of course, there are other elements in that Dallas defensive front four as well. Number 72 is 6'9", Too Tall Jones.
Somehow you have to get his hands down because he can hurt you, one, with the rush, but even when he doesn't get that big rush, he just gets his hands up. See, he gets them up once there, goes down, and he gets them up again and knocks the ball down. But those are the things that they're going to have to handle in the second half.
That, by the way, is a Cowboy record and a Too Tall Jones record. That's the 12th pass he's batted down this year. He had the old record of 11 set back in 1980. We've got a good second half coming up for you. It's 21-7 Cowboys. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be back with another half. Second half about to get underway. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead the Cardinals 21-7. Rafael Septien set to kick off. Stump Mitchell back deep for the Cardinals. And Stump will handle at the 1. In the middle of the mess is Ron Fellows, Emerson Walls, and Bill Bates, number 40. Mike Walter also there. Otis Anderson trotting on into the huddle. 7 rushes, 9 yards, and that's one of the key things that the Cowboys shut down in the first half.
And that's one of the key things that the Cardinals have to get going in the second half.
Cardinals will operate from their own 27-yard line. They send the tight end to the left side. Doug Marsh, Tilley, and Green both wide to the right. Lomax still the quarterback. Otis Anderson deep. They go quickly to Green. He is a formidable weapon. Everson Walls and Dennis Thurman, both on the same side with the 2 wide receivers on that side, over to make the stop.
I think what they want to do probably is get mixture on 1st down so that they can create some 2nd and short and 3rd and short. You know, the last 3 times they've had the ball 3rd down, they've had like 13, 12, 16. They've always been in that type of situation. Of course, that brings the big blitz, and they haven't been able to pick it up.
Same offensive set with the 2 wide receivers, the 2 dangerous receivers on the right side, and now Green goes to the left side. Thurman goes with him. Pitch back to O.J. Anderson. And Anderson barrels for a Cardinal 1st down, and he looked hungry. Michael Downs made the stop. But a 14-yard gain by Anderson.
You know, the Cardinals probably had a talk about that. They probably said, look, we got to get going here. We got to get Otis out. Of course, they started here. Tootie Robbins, he just grabs a hold of Too Tall, grabs that left arm, keeps him in there, and then O.J. Anderson goes to the outside. See that? You got to get that guy blocked. And get that hand, get that arm, do anything, whatever it takes.
That one run of 14 yards got Anderson more than he had in the entire first half. There goes Tilley in motion. Dallas 48. Outside, Wayne Morris. Morris is popped out of bounds by Anthony Dickerson. Everson Walls also over in the mess. So is Brunig. Cardinals look like they made some philosophical changes at halftime.
Well, I think that's a big key. I think the key is Otis Anderson. Because if he can run and they can get some running going, then the other things will come. If they can't get any running going, then it's going to be a long day for Neil Lomax.
2nd and 5. Ball at the Dallas 47. They can keep in this situation, they'll be okay. But not 2nd and long. Anderson gets away from a couple, finally goes down after he got perhaps a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
You know, a guy that makes a lot of tackles, in fact, he was in on that tackle for the Cowboys. You don't see this a lot on teams, is Michael Downs, who's a free safety. You know, he really gets up in there tight, plays that run a lot. He's up there in the line of scrimmage. So that's where, when you see that as a coach, what you start to think is play pass. Fake, get him up, and then go deep, get him behind him.
Which is what they did when they got their touchdown. They play pass. They got him to move forward. Lomax, people in front of him. Lomax throw, pass complete, Mark. Greg LaFleur, the backup tight end, by the way. And there's a penalty marker down as a late hit on Harvey Martin came from the Cardinals, number 67, Lewis Sharp, who's had a frustrating day against Harvey. And maybe that's why the extra action. LaFleur had enough for a Cardinal 1st down, but they'll move it back. Probably will still have the 1st down because the hit occurred after he picked up the 1st down yardage, but they will be penalized.
Those are things that really hurt a team. Yeah, I mean, those are things that are usually out of frustration. Now watch from the right-hand side of your screen. You're going to see it come in here. I think that was, there it is. Here it comes right now, and he puts it on John Dutton.
Took a shot at Harvey, yeah. Missed him and got Dutton. Now they move it back.
That was awfully late. I mean, that play was over. The ball was down. Whistles had blown.
Hannafin is out on the field, and another penalty marker goes down. They'll move it back more.
You see who was out there with him was Dan Deerdorf. Was Hannafin and Deerdorf walked out on the field.
We have unnecessary roughness on number 67 on the play.
That's Sharp.
And we have unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench.
Not a very happy Jim Hannafin. So it is not a 1st down. Now it's 3rd and long, and there is Dan Deerdorf, who had so many great years for the Cardinals, and he is recapturing some youth, and they move it back further. This might be the best play the Cowboys have had all day.
Unnecessary roughness, number 67, during the running play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench during the dead ball foul. 3rd down.
3rd. And I'll have to figure a minute how much to go. The ball is way back at the Cardinal 21. 3rd and 32. Randy Love, one of the Cardinal backs, along with Otis Anderson. Lomax out of the shotgun, and here come those Cowboys pouring. Across to Anderson, chased by Bates. Bates misses. Anderson tripped up by Ron Fellows. And the Cardinals' Birdsong will have to come on and punt. They looked like they had something going, and as John Madden just said, those are the things that really kill you.
Well, they are, and it's the things that come out of frustration. You know, you want to do well. You're trying to play hard. Lewis Sharp is chasing someone. He gets him. Then the coach gets upset. He walks out on the field, and then pretty soon everything you had going just all falls apart on you.
Fellows goes back to the 15 for Dallas. Birdsong's standing at his own 25. We'll have to punt. Low snap. Handles it nicely. Gets off a whale of a punt. Fellows looking up. Trying to come up the ball. The ball goes in the end zone and out of the end zone, and nothing doing. Didn't have a chance to field it. No flags are thrown. They'll bring it back to the 20. 59-yard punt. No return for a net of 39.
I was surprised that Ron Fellows got up in there. On a thing like that, you know, you should get away from it, but there's a lot of things there. Watch him now. He's getting up here now. The coverage team has to give him an opportunity to catch the ball. And I think the reason they didn't is his own blocker, Robert Newhouse, was the guy that didn't give him the opportunity.
There is a flag down back at the Cardinal 40. Some sort of illegal procedure, and they'll bring it back if the Cowboys want to.
Usually when you see the flag there in that position, it's usually against the punting team for someone leaving early.
Number 58 on the kicking team, illegally downfield on the kick, is declined. It's first down.
Decline. First down, Dallas at their own 20. With 11:23 left to play in the third quarter, they lead 21-7. Jim Hanifin still in the middle of his discussion with the officials about that last series of penalties. Nevertheless, the game continues, and it's 1st and 10 Dallas from their own 20. Dorsett back deep behind Springs and Cosby in motion. Back to Tony Dorsett. Hammers out to about the 24. Charlie Baker, the first man to make contact with him. A little help from Curtis Greer, and Tony limps back a little bit. Boy, over the years and over the season, as you watch him, you start to realize what a tough guy he is. He doesn't look like a tough guy, but he is.
Well, you know, any guy that can do the types of things that Tony Dorsett does, I mean, he runs inside, outside, blocks, only weighs about 185 pounds, and does it week after week, year after year.
Takes that pounding. He got 3 on that last play. Springs went in motion. White rolls out, gives to Springs. Springs cuts back inside. E.J. Jr. stays on his feet, gets out about 2 yards shy of a first down. Jr. stayed with it. Number 54 is one fine player.
I think one thing that does save a Tony Dorsett, though, is the fact that on a play like that, when they don't use him, they use him as a decoy. So he goes to the left, brings a lot of people. Danny White bootlegs out to the right and throws to Ron Springs.
In many ways, unlike what the Bears do with Walter Payton, because when he doesn't carry the ball, he's in there blocking.
Blocking nose tackles and stuff. That's serious blocking.
That's with all respect to Tony, because he does a whale of a job. Third down, short. White back. Out. Cosby makes the catch, but he's out of bounds. Cedric Mack was the defender, number 47, with him. Cosby held on, but couldn't get them both down. He only got 1 foot in, and Danny White will stay in the punt.
There it is right there. He has the ball. Right foot's in, left foot's out. I think Doug Cosby knew it there. He just stood there, threw the ball back, and knew that he wasn't on the punt coverage team.
So Danny White back to punt. Stump Mitchell back deep for the Cardinals, number 30. Line shot. This one should be returned. Mitchell with room. Up quickly and missed. And down to make the stop is the man who snapped it, Rafferty. 44-yard punt by White. 14-yard return, a net of 30, 21-7. Dallas over St. Louis with 9:38 left, third quarter.
Hey, my name is Pat Tilley of the St. Louis Cardinals. My family, Diane, Leanne, and Joni, we would like to wish your family a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you're enjoying the game. Girls, you want to say happy Thanksgiving?
Happy Thanksgiving!
Well, indeed, we hope it's a happy Thanksgiving, or has been for you. Has been for us, I know that. The Cardinals maybe not so happy right now. Neil Lomax, their quarterback. They break out at the Dallas 43. 9:38 left to play, third quarter. The Cowboys leading the Cardinals 21-7. Green wide to the right, Tilley, from whom you just heard. Wide left, this is Anderson. On first down, he's breaking tackles, and now here comes Too Tall Jones with help from Dexter Clinkscale.
I'll tell you, Too Summerall's having a big day today. He's knocking balls down. He's making plays on run. Let's watch him here on Tootie Robbins. Well, he starts out here in the tight end. That's on Doug Marsh blocking down. Holds him up, gets to the outside, let the ball come to you. Here he is, he turns up. There's Too Tall right there on him.
Tell you what, you can't play the run much better than that from defensive end, can you?
Oh, that Doug Marsh is a pretty good blocking tight end.
Nevertheless, the play got 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5. The Cowboys fake blitz. Here comes Downs strolling up, and here he comes. Downs all over. He timed that one well. A couple of times earlier he missed time, but that run was well timed. Pat Tilley, the intended receiver, but Lomax, no chance.
You see the smile in his eyes. He knew he timed that one well. Watch it from the left-hand side of the screen. There's number 26. He starts, stops, walks back. Lomax takes his eyes off of boom. Center goes to the left. Right guard goes to the right. Downs goes right between the two.
Anderson came over and tried to pick him up, but he was already by him.
Downs was so quick on that one, he caused a blur.
So it's 3rd down from the shotgun. Now they'll bring a package. They pick up Downs, but Tilley makes a diving stab. No, it's Mike Schumann who almost had it and then dropped it, but the Cowboys had all kind of heat on Lomax.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Otis Anderson stepped up in there and made a heck of a block on Michael Downs that time. He said, you got there the last time, I'm going to get you this time. Whew.
Birdsong back to kick again. Fellows back deep at the 10 for Dallas. I would imagine he'll not try to field this one if Birdsong hangs it high again. That's Roy Green who gets the Cardinal first down as they snap it to the short man. First down last week against the Chargers like that.
This is a good time to watch. You know, watch. Roy Green is a short man. You see the ball snapped right there. Guard pulls. The other guard pulls. He runs to the outside and gets enough to pick up the first down. That's a good position. You know, when you're down by 14 against the Cowboys and you're at midfield, that's a big play. Or good play.
There really is not too much that young man can't do, Roy Green. Wide to the right, Green to the left. Good call by Jim Hannafin. That one was planned. Here's Lomax going to work. Has Anderson. Anderson inside the Cowboy 30 to about the 27. Not quite enough for a first down, but good gain. Brunig and Dickerson converge to bring him down. There's Jim.
Hannafin says we may as well let it all go today. We're playing Thanksgiving Day, short week against the Cowboys. We're down by 14. We just can't sit around and play conservative. Let's go after them, man.
Realistically, they have to win this one to stay in the playoff picture. Their record of 5-6-1. This is Morris, straight ahead, near the 20. Michael Downs on the stop. To the 21, they'll mark it. First down, Cardinals, they'll move those sticks.
I still say the key to their success is being able to run the football. Otis Anderson, Wayne Morris, then you can get mixture. But when you can't run and every time you have to pass, that's when the Cowboys play super defense.
Last week, Kansas City threw 59 times against the Cowboys. We asked Hannafin last night how many times he thought he had to throw. He said, I hope it's only 25. Lomax is Downs again, right up the middle. The 4th sack. Lomax went down, not all the way down. Downs recovered and came back and got him for the 2nd time.
You know, the thing about that play, Pat, is surprising. It's a first down play. Now, most of these things come on 2nd and 3rd and long. Now, watch Michael Downs. Here he is in the middle again. He starts to walk. You see, Lomax is looking. Now he's finished his audible. Here comes Downs again, the same position. Anderson gets there just a little late because he gets the blocker and the quarterback at the same time.
So it's a loss of 6 and make it 2nd and 16 at the Dallas 27 with 6:40 left to play. Here's Anderson. Bates and White to Clinkscale. Converge to 25. Just getting back to what is at stake for the Cardinals for the second wild card spot. 49ers, Rams, both 7-5, 5 losses. Detroit 7-6 after today's victory, so that's 6. New Orleans 6-6, Green Bay 6-6, and St. Louis 5-6-1. There was a time that they were really upset about that tie, but it could conceivably, depending upon what happens, work to their advantage before it's over. Lomax is 8 out of 15 and now goes from a shotgun on 3rd down. Here it comes. Here it comes. The heat was on by Clinkscale and Dickerson, and Lomax again. No chance intended for Tilley. But you can't throw when you're running for your life.
Well, and you really can't throw when you end up 3rd and 13 either, and that's a big thing. Once the Cowboys get in trouble, once you get them backed up, they're going to bring that blitz on you, and you have to be able to handle it or stay out of that situation.
O'Donoghue. Neil O'Donoghue from 42 yards away. Benny Perrin holding. O'Donoghue hits. Good. Just barely got it over the uprights. The crossbar, rather, and in between the uprights. So the Cardinals get something out of it after all, and the Cowboys' lead is cut to 21-10. 5:50 left, 3rd quarter. Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall, John Madden. Cowboys 21, Cardinals 10. Lomax about set to kick off. Rod Hill and Fellows back deep. Going to be Fellows out of the hands of Hill. Fellows had some room, almost broke it away. Got outside the 20, about the 23. Bill Whitaker was the first man to hit him. Don't forget, tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern time, there is college football on CBS Sports. Alabama against Boston. Perkins Crimson Tide 7-2, headed for the Sun Bowl against college football's little big man Doug Flutie from Boston College. Join us for all the action tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern time, right where you are now. CBS Sports. First down, Cowboys. They're on 24. Dorsett bumps into a couple of defensive linemen before Kurt Ollerman made the stop for the Cardinals.
You hear all that grunting and cracking going on down there? I mean, you're
You like it?
Guys talking, yelling. That's good stuff when you get right down there on the field in the midst of that stuff.
All they need now is a little mud and dirt.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're never going to have it here in this stadium.
I want them to bring back the water bucket, really. 2nd down. Excuse me, John. White. Cosby. First down, Dallas. Cosby hadn't been able to work out for Monday and Tuesday. Worked out tentatively yesterday, but has been impressive today.
You know, the big thing about this is watch his pass protection. Now, here's Danny White coming back. Now, watch how they take everything to the outside. Now, watch. They just take that stunt. They take everything to the outside. Now, look what Danny White sees. Look at that. There's no one in front of him. Unmolested. He can find, he can look, he can see. That's what you want to do on offense. Get those guys out. You don't want to get anyone pushing in the face of your quarterback.
Well, that's a good lesson right there. It sure makes passing a lot easier, doesn't it?
It's like skeleton.
Butch Johnson swung in motion. Dorsett struggling up close to the 40, down perhaps at about the 38. Al Baker tripped him up.
You notice one thing about the way Tom Landry calls plays, and of course he does call every play himself, is he always has a mixture. No matter what he ever gets going, he'll always go back to the run. He never gets into that thing of pass, 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 pass. He'll get a pass, and then boom, he'll come back and run it again.
You know, you've heard so many times, Coach, in the business a long time, they say the game has passed him by. Never heard that said about Landry.
Some people say they haven't caught up with him yet.
That's right. Here's White back to throw with pressure in the middle. Outside of Dorsett with Dupree in front of him. Cardinal defensive pursuit is excellent. Good rush by Curtis Greer. White was looking downfield, but had to just lob it out to Dorsett. Third down and 5. Dorsett trots out. Jimmy Newsome will come in along with the rest of the regular receiving corps, which would be Johnson and Cosby to the right, Tony Hill to the left, Springs and Newsome, the 2 backs in the shotgun with Danny White. Again under pressure. Gets away from everything. For a while at least. Lee Nelson brought him down, and that's the first sack of Danny White.
That's just White. You know, we always talk about stunts. Now watch this. Here they start in that undershift we're talking about. Now watch the tackle. The nose tackle starts to the outside. Both tackles work outside. Both ends work inside. And they're able to flush White out of the pocket. And now he has to scramble. And then the strong safety, Lee Nelson, comes up and makes the play. But that's a stunt. Really, the tackles switch with the ends. The ends come in, the tackles go out.
White hits one that'll stay up for a while, and Mitchell takes it at the 25. Cuts back, cuts to the 36-yard line, perhaps the 37. Bruce Huther and Mike Walter, backup linebackers, converge to make the stop. 39-yard punt, 27-yard net for Danny White.
You know, we always talk about stunts, and we never show them. Now, here's one. The tackle is going to work out. The end crosses with him and works inside. This tackle works out. This end, Baker, works inside. The 2 guys that get the pressure are right here, the 2 inside guys that start on the outside. Now, watch them cross. Now, the 2 ends, Greer and Baker, are going to end up inside. You see them come inside? The tackles work outside. Try and grab the guards and tackles, and then the ends come up free inside. That's a stunt.
In that case, the tackles both did a good job of occupying 2 blockers, and that's why the ends were loose. 2 minutes left, third quarter. The ball at the St. Louis 37. No penalty. Nothing doing.
There was just a mix-up on the handoff there, Pat. It looks like as he was trying to hand off to Otis Anderson, somehow the ball was just dropped on the ground. I don't think it was caused by a defender, though.
Too tall. Jones jumped, but got back. Clock runs, 1:35 left, third quarter. Dallas 21, St. Louis 10. Really a must game for both teams. The Cardinals to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Cowboys to stay even with Washington. Of course, they would move a half game ahead. Here is Lomax, intended for LaFleur. And again, the Cowboys had the pressure on Neil Lomax.
And this is a problem that the Cardinals have been having all day. Now they're forced to throw on second down. But, you know, on third down, they've been averaging over 10 yards to go. And you just can't play against the Cowboys that way. They've been third down and over 10 yards all day.
It's funny how you know what's coming, but you still can't control it.
And here it comes. It's going to come right now.
Somebody. Lomax unloads to Green. On a bounce, walls the cover, but incomplete. You can tell that Lomax is feeling that pressure. He's 0 for 6 out of the shotgun. And, of course, they don't go to the shotgun until it's long yardage, and here comes the game.
Well, here's the thing, and you have 3rd and 12. You see the blitz coming. Your receivers try and shorten down their patterns. Of course, they can't do that because if you complete the ball, it's not even a first down. He didn't even throw a spiral on that one, though.
He is feeling the heat, as they say. Here is Birdsong back deep. Rod Fellows standing at the Dallas 21. Birdsong gets off a good kick. Roy Green right in his face. Fellows, no fair catch. Did hang on to the ball. Green was right there, along with Leonard Smith. 43-yard punt, no return. Cardinals with good coverage. Roy Green does everything. Don't you think it's been a happy Thanksgiving for those two guys? Aren't they happy to be Cowboys and happy to be playing on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, and they're even getting paid for it, but I'll bet that neither one of them cooks dinner.
I bet not either. And if they did, I bet it would be tough.
It would be undone.
Here's White. All kinds of time, throws up the middle and gets the ball into Butch Johnson. In the middle of 5 Cardinals. The pass is complete. 18-yard gain made from nothing.
Danny White had good pass protection on this, but that's a gutsy throw. If he throws an interception here, someone will say, why did he throw that? He should have it back. But when you have the confidence that Danny White has, again, look at this middle here. You see, he can step, he can see. Now he moves over to the right, and he really throws the ball in the crowd. 1, 2, 3, and there's one behind him, and another one right there in the side.
Lee Nelson is the injured Cardinal who was in the middle of all that collision. Butch Johnson's 5th reception. This is not the end of the NFL this week. More on Sunday. Begins with the NFL today. Minnesota at New Orleans, Philadelphia at Washington. That's the game they'll be watching intently down here. And then later on in the afternoon, the Giants will be at Los Angeles against the Raiders. Most of the country will see Green Bay at Atlanta. That Central Division standing. Detroit won today. Green Bay scrambling to stay in the thick of things. Chicago not out of it. And Minnesota leading, depending upon what happens on Sunday. Springs or Newsom. It is Springs. Dorsett out in front.
I think there's a guy that has really come into his own this year.
Springs?
Yeah, Ron Springs. I mean, he wasn't used a lot. He was in the backfield and kind of a blocker, but now they're running him more as mixture. In the shotgun, he's the receiver inside, and he's doing a lot more things. And I think he's really responding as a result.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dallas 21, St. Louis 10. We now pause for a word from your local station. Dallas 21, the Cardinals 10, 15 minutes, 1 quarter left to play. Cowboys have the ball at their own 45. Lee Nelson, who was shaken up a minute ago on that pass completion to Johnson, is back and apparently okay. 2 tight ends, 1 lone setback. 2 wide receivers. Dorsett behind Donovan. Dorsett gone. Gone. Afterburner. When he got it headed upfield, he burned some artificial surface. Rafael Septien for the extra point, with Glenn Carano holding.
You play again. It's only 1 back in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Here it is, just a pitch to the outside. Now watch Pat Donovan's block right there. Boom, he takes E.J. Jr., knocks him to the outside, in fact, knocks him down there out of bounds, and that's the play that sprung Dorsett. And when he gets out in front, he's gone. I'll tell you, but the thing that got it started was the tight end. Now watch 84, Doug Cosby. He's going to be blocking here on Greer. See, now he starts him, he gets him to the inside, invites him in, then just drives him in enough to let Dorsett get to the outside, and then Donovan's block. Then we still have one more block.
By Tony Hill, number 80.
I'll tell you, any big play by a running back, it has to be a block by a wide receiver. That was Tony Hill. He came in and blocked the weak safety Perrin.
Wasn't your most vicious block, but it was effective.
They don't have to be vicious. If they'll just get in the way, you can get some big runs if those guys will come in there, because it just did enough to Benny Perrin just to let Dorsett get by him.
So Cosby, Donovan, and Hill with an assist for Dorsett. That's Randy Love, who handles the kickoff at the 13. Chased, brought down from behind by Clinkscale, and a fumble, and Dallas has it.
Dexter Clinkscale that caused that.
Fellows made the recovery.
Let's watch it and see if here's Dexter Clinkscale. He's 47. Watch, he is the guy that strips it. You see him get his right hand in there? That was just enough to start the ball out, and then Ron Fellows comes in, and he's going to get it right there. Watch Clinkscale. Watch that hand come in from the outside, the right arm just before that, and knocked it out.
Dallas 28-10. White looking left, gets it out to Dorsett. Dorsett ducks back inside. Charlie Baker makes sure he stays down. Good pressure by Baker. Al Baker, the defensive end, on White. Caused that confusion. They lost one.
Al Baker made sure that Danny White stayed down.
For the applause is that Danny White has now broken Roger Staubach's season record of completions with 268. Staubach had 267. And that's the message up on the board. White gives to Dorsett, and D'Antoni swings back to about the 27-yard line. Charlie Baker again on the tackle. Clock running with 13:40 left to play in the contest.
You know, what a class guy Danny White is. You know, in the preseason, of course, there was a lot of controversy. Should he start, or should they start Gary Hogeboom? And he went through that, never said a thing. Early in the season, he'd throw it in, they'd boo him and so on. But he's just been above that all year, all his career.
The shotgun, 3rd and 10. White drops and throws. Caught by Johnson inside the 5, inside the 10 to about the 5, maybe the 6. Lionel Washington made the tackle. Butch Johnson has been saying for years how to be starting, how to be playing more.
He was saying the other day he ought to own the team. He said if he owned the team, he would start himself and get a younger coach that likes to dance.
Like he does.
Two things he'd do.
I got a hunch that Tom Landry's a pretty good dancer.
And he could be.
Johnson, 6 catches for 78 yards. His best day of the year. The Cowboys operate with 2 tight ends. Johnson, Butch, split wide to the right. They give to Dorsett. Dorsett whams down inside the 5, about the 4. Benny Perrin on the stop.
You know, one thing, Danny White has been getting all day. He's had good protection. And I think that, you know, a lot of that credit, or all of that credit, has to go to the offensive line. You don't mention those. We, you know, see Dorsett in his games and Danny White and his records and Butch Johnson catching passes. But that offensive line is doing a heck of a job today.
And another statistic that would let you know how effective they are is the fact that Dorsett now is over 100 yards, 102, over 100 for the 2nd week in a row. Danny White, he'll make it. Al Septien with Carano holding, trying to make it Cowboys 35, Cardinals 10. And does. Once again, the Cowboys have come from behind, and a smiling Danny White.
Watch this now. Tony Dorsett they're going to fake it to him. You see the guards pull to the left, the guard and the tackle. Everyone chases after Tony Dorsett except E.J. Jr., and he's too late because Danny White's going to beat him to the end zone.
And with that touchdown, they build a 35-10 lead.
Watch the effect that Tony Dorsett has. He gains his 100 yards. Now he starts this way, tackle pulls the whole thing. Now that holds the whole Cardinal defense, and then Danny White comes on a bootleg. Now watch this, what happens here. Okay, now watch. Now they pull the tackle, they pull the other guard, both backs go to the left. Now watch, we just stop it right here. Look what it does to this Cardinal defense. Holds it all here, and now White can just sprint it into the end zone. That's the old naked bootleg. I could never get my quarterback to buy that one. I'd say, look, if we send them all that way, all the guys will run that way, then you run the other way. Stabler would say, well, how about if they don't? Well,
we'll get another quarterback. Stump Mitchell. Cut down again by Bruce Huther. That's about 5 tackles he's made either on punts or kickoff returns.
Just a few weeks ago, he was an unemployed ex-football player hanging around lifting weights.
CBS Sports brings you the NCAA Saturday, the Kansas Jayhawks against Houston. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and of course, that is basketball, and that is 2 of the highest-ranked teams going into the season. Also, Nebraska, Oklahoma, plus certain parts of the country. You will see Vanderbilt against Tennessee and Arizona, Arizona State. Lomax to Marsh. Wrestled to the ground by Michael Downs.
I wonder what the Redskins think of this game. You know, I'm sure they've been watching the Cowboys, and I wonder what they think. I know they think we're going to have to play them in a couple weeks.
Well, they've looked pretty good. I hope most of them ate before they saw the game.
Look at that one. Our pigskins are made of Redskins. Can't wait till December 11th. That's going to be a big day down here.
That'll be like a championship game. It'll be on CBS, of course. Lomax bounces one in the direction of Lafleur. Here come the shock troops. Most of our viewers, by the way, and certainly those of you interested in what's happening with the Redskins on Sunday, will see the Eagles against the Redskins. Redskin remaining schedule. Well, you look at the Eastern Division standings right now, and Dallas is going to be 11-2, and Washington will be shooting for 11-2 against the Eagles.
I'm not going to ask you today who you think will be in the Super Bowl, but I bet one of those 2 teams are.
Glad you didn't ask me. You asked me last week.
You answered.
Lomax out of the shotgun. Here comes Harvey Martin around the corner. There's Pat Tilley's first reception of the day. And it'll be enough for a Cardinal first down. It was Dexter Clinkscale who made the stop.
Let's see if we can watch Pat Tilley here. He's going to come up now. He's going to end up running an out. But you see what he does before he goes. He bends in a little, turns his head to the inside. That holds the defensive back, and then he's able to get to the outside and catch the ball. That was a combination of a kind of a shoulder and head move inside and then back to the outside.
Pat Tilley's an amazing guy. They said he couldn't run fast enough. He wasn't big enough. All he does is succeed.
That's what's wrong with those computers.
Draw play Anderson. And the dance gets him maybe a yard. Mike Hegman made the stop.
Did you hear that on there? The audio picked it up down there. You heard someone yell draw. You know, that's what they're drilled to do. They start up field like a pass rush, and when they see draw, they all yell draw. And then they all stop their pass rush and go get the guy that has the ball.
Or try to.
Tried to.
Those guys who yell draw are usually the ones who've already committed too far to do anything about it.
It's usually a defensive tackle. It's probably John Dutton. It's usually the guy that plays left defensive tackle.
Just over 9 minutes left to play. They start to crowd those wide receivers. Lomax looking deep. Comes up into the pocket, gets it to LaFleur. And LaFleur has the first down and rumbles into Dallas.
By the Cow, but again, now Lomax has room in the middle. See, so he steps up, hits LaFleur, everything's going well, has the first down. Good convergence by the Cowboys. Now watch what happens when they converge right in here. Again, a strip.
Left Bethea. Cowboys have the ball back, leading 35-10. Well, this is the kind of thing that Tom Landry was saying we have to do.
That's right, and we see Larry Bethea do it. Watch, he reaches his arm right in there. Look, he just strips that ball right out of LaFleur's hand. I think that's about the third one of those that we've seen today.
Where somebody got an arm in there and just took the ball away. You see the difference. But boy, when there's that big a difference, you can see how important turnovers are. First and 10 Dallas from their own 34, and now they'll try to keep it on the ground. Billy Joe Dupree fired off the ball, had a little exchange with Charlie Baker against Dallas. To just show you how significant turnovers are, look at the Redskins, plus 32. Minnesota leading the NFC Central, plus 14. Miami, of course, a winning team, usually, almost always, in fact, plus 12. And Dallas, plus 11. Starting today, and that always tells you pretty much of a story when you get down to this point in the season, especially. Springs, about 4. Benny Perrin on the stop. Clock running. 8:45 left. This is a young man we met yesterday at Dallas practice. He was a very good friend of Roger Staubach's. Just wanted to say hello to Fort Mac and Calhoun, Georgia. Young man in a wheelchair who is a great Cowboy fan and whom John and I spent time with yesterday, and so did almost all the Cowboys.
Right, it was a big thrill for him to be in the Cowboy locker room and see all those players that are his heroes.
Newsom replaced Dorsett, and Newsom can ramble. Outside the left side for about 6 yards. Kurt Ollerman made the stop. Newsom got about 6. There'll be some dents in that helmet. That's Bill Bates. There's some unhappiness in that helmet. That's LaFleur. Anybody in red is a little bit down right now. Dallas 35, St. Louis 10. 3rd and 5. White will operate out of the shotgun. He'll have Johnson and Cosby split wide to the right. Doug Donnelly out to the left. Now he has to come out of the pocket. Now he has to run. He gets the ball to Springs. He won't have a first down. E.J. Jr. again around the ball. They look like they have about a half yard to go for the first down. No penalty flags, and on come the Cowboys members of the punting unit. I thought the Cowboys did pick up Jim Miller, who punted for the 49ers a couple of years ago, you recall. Watching him in practice, he was really bombing the ball, warming up. Thought maybe we might see him punt a little bit later on. It's still Danny White. About a foot short.
I think eventually you're going to see Jim Miller doing some punting. In fact, we may eventually in this game. In fact, I'm surprised that he doesn't punt this one.
He, of course, is the young man who punts barefooted. One shoe off, one shoe on, like Tony Franklin. But he's the only barefooted punter in the NFL. Got that half stocking on and a shoe on right now, but he'd take that off. White will punt, nevertheless. Stump Mitchell back deep for the Cardinals. Gets it away, is knocked down, or is almost knocked down, and Stuart Mitchell is really wrecked by Bill Bates. Bruce Heather also down there again.
And I would darn near guarantee that the next time Danny White won't punt.
I would think so after he went down then. Cowboys 35, Cardinals 10. Looks like the Cardinals might have gotten away with one here.
Watch Leonard Smith come in here on Danny White, and this is why I think Danny White won't punt the next one. Watch him from the right-hand side. He looks like he goes after White and then goes after his head right there. Danny White took a duck and went down. I don't know if Tom Landry saw that one or not, but I'm sure if he did, we'll see Jim Miller in the next punt.
Landry sees a lot. Here's Lomax. Back to throw. Harvey Martin from behind gets him. Oh, Larry Bethea, not Martin. Offensive guard gets the rebound, gets the first down. It's the offensive tackle, Louis Sharp. 11-yard gain.
That's some play for the big tackle. Watch Bethea. He'll come from the left-hand side of the screen, and it looks like Hart doesn't even see him. He goes to throw as he's hit, and the ball's going to... Now watch Bethea. Now Sharp is the guy blocking him. He's yelling, look out, look out. He hits him, and now if you don't block him, the rule is you better catch the ball in the air so they don't get it. And the next rule is if you do, run with it and get a first down. How'd you like to have to tackle this guy? He weighs about 290 pounds.
The ball was knocked from the quarterback's hands backward, caught by an ineligible receiver. But it is a backward pass, so it's a good play. First down.
Well, it's a lateral in that case. A backward pass is the same thing as a lateral, isn't it?
Right. Well, had it been a fumble, he could have done this, or a backward pass. He couldn't do it if it's a forward pass. I don't know that that's not a fumble, though. They said backward pass. It's the same thing as a fumble. So now that's a free ball. Sharp looks good there, carrying the ball. Home.
A day of frustration for him until then. 6:20 left to play. Ball at the 36. Cardinals Marsh, the tight end, moves over to the left side. Now Green goes in motion. Lomax goes back to throw. Randy White converges along with John Dutton. And down he goes. 5 sacks by the Cowboys.
Let's watch it here. Now we see Randy White. He's 54. He's working against Steve right there. He makes an outside move on him. Then he comes in. He and Dutton get there about the same time, but Randy White keeps a hold. Ooh, that's tough when you get that rush and both tackles are free coming straight up the middle.
Artistic. 5 sacks by Dallas, 1 by the Cardinals. Cowboys leading 35-10. 2nd and 12 it is now. Anderson chased by Bates. Popped out of bounds by Bill Bates.
Talking about Landry, yeah. Talking about him being able to dance. He probably would be a pretty good dancer. You see him move on that play?
He evacuated in a hurry.
Yeah. He doesn't have that play card or anything right now. He only has that when they're on offense. Someone holds it for him when they're on defense. What do you think Tom Landry would be if he weren't a coach?
I can see him being a fashion model or being a bank executive.
Watch him move right here. Look at him. He's going. He gets his hand up, head down, knees bent. Not bad. Little cross step.
Well, after watching that, I think he might be an official. Outside, Anderson. Cuts back inside. Don Smerrick and Bill Bates get over to bring him down. Michael Downs there also. Clock running. 5:25 left to play. 10-yard pickup by Anderson. Completion from Lomax.
You know, the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day have a record of 11-3-1. And as Tom Landry said, it really is an advantage if you win. And now, you know, they get this game. Now they get the extra 2 or 3 days off, and it's like a midterm break for them.
Well, you asked him yesterday, or we did, when he would have his Thanksgiving dinner, and he said after the game. 11 times the turkey's been good. 3 times no good. And the tie was tasteless. Outside. Stump Mitchell. Out of bounds. LaFleur hit Hegman. Fans a little bit upset about that. It was Dennis Thurman and Larry Bethea who knocked the stump out of bounds.
Hegman was complaining to the official as he walked back. But hey, you got to see those things.
It's interesting. Yesterday, before we looked at our film of the Cowboys and Cardinals, our executive producer, Terry O'Neill, said to us, "How is Mike Hegman playing?" And I said, "Steady." And you said, "That's right. He's playing steady." When we talked to Tom Landry, we asked him about Hegman, and he said, "Yeah, he's a very steady player." LaFleur. Mike Hegman on the tackle.
I think he's playing a little better than steady today. It seems like steady is reserved for someone who's always there but doesn't do a heck of a lot. He doesn't get you beat, but he doesn't make many plays either. But Hegman's made quite a few plays today.
He certainly has. He and Too Tall were college teammates, and they're playing side by side most of the time now with the Cowboys.
Talking about side by side, we're side by side here with Drew Pearson. He's not playing. He has too many clothes on. He got scarves around his neck, and sweaters and ties and hats.
You got the fan on. Oh, what a good tackle. Stump Mitchell hit down by Angelo King. That's the way to get it done. Boy, that's good technique right there.
Well, of course, when you have a 25-point lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go, then you don't have to worry about defending a lot. You just go and, and create havoc. Sound like a coach. Go in there, guys. Go in there and create havoc. Havoc.
I thought a lot of times that you would have made a heck of a coach.
Create havoc. Like an unmade bet.
You were a heck of a coach. Still should be. Could be. I like it like it is, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Lomax under fire from Dutton, and down he goes. 6 sacks for Dallas. There is Drew Pearson.
You see all those clothes he has on? Look, he has scarves and ties and all that stuff. That's what happened in Philadelphia when you dropped that pass. You had too many clothes on. You had long underwear and gloves and stuff.
I'm glad he's smiling. Oh, there's never been a better one than Drew Pearson.
Well, he makes the big catches, but you know how he got hurt? He hurt himself blocking.
Supposed to be looking back, and he wasn't.
Once in a while, you got to sneak a peek, Drew.
Here comes the blitz again. Pass complete to Schumann. That'll be enough for a first down. The Cowboys putting the pressure. Again, that's a 14-yard pickup. Bill Bates on the blitz that time of Lomax. Lomax got rid of it in time to Schumann.
I think Bill Bates likes that, too. Don't you? Get in there and make those hits and blitz and do all those things.
John and I'll be doing the Giants at Los Angeles next Sunday. And what time does the bus leave?
The bus leaves right after the game. In fact, the thing ought to be ready right now. Just go down the elevator, out the thing, get on the bus, and towards Los Angeles.
Is it catered?
It's catered, yeah. We have turkey sandwiches.
That's good, at least. So I'll see you in Los Angeles after this is over. 2 minutes left at Texas Stadium with the Cowboys leading 35-10. Happy Thanksgiving to you one more time. It has been a good day for the Dallas Cowboys. 35-10, they lead over the Cardinals. Cardinals at the Cowboy 29-yard line, just inside the 30, and Lomax drops the throw. Under fire again, and Too Tall Jones hovers over him and falls on him this time. 7 sacks for Dallas.
This is the best game, I think, that the Cowboy defensive line have played all year. They've been doing things against the run. They've been getting a pass rush without a blitz, hands up, all those types of things that they really haven't been doing all year. Here's Too Tall now. He's working against Tootie Robbins there, just pushes him to the side. Geez, and he starts to lunge. He's about 6'8", and when he lunges, about 7'9".
Too tall gets a rest, and Jim Jeffcoat has come in to take his place. Bethea is the other defensive end. Jeffcoat makes Lomax move up. Tilley chased by Thurman. Shy of the first down by about 2. Lomax again under fire. Stepped up and got it away. Clock running, 1:15 seconds left to play.
You know, the other thing about the Cowboys has been maligned lately is their secondary, and other than that big one early to Roy Green, they've done a pretty good job on Green and Tilley all day. Of course, the pass rush helped that, too.
Oh, yeah. 16 out of 27, 215 yards on the day. But 7 times he's been down on the artificial turf. Going to throw again, and does throw. Has Roy Green, first down, Cardinals. Jefferson Walls on the tackle. Penalty flag is down back around the goal line.
Defense has 12 men on the field.
No wonder it's tough to throw.
It would be easy to throw with 12 guys in it.
Except the defense had him.
Oh, the defense had him.
Executive producer Terry O'Neill, that is our friend Crazy Ray. Terry back in action. Never was on waivers, but it's good to have him back. Charles Milton III, the senior producer. Sandy Grossman directed and is responsible for the great pictures we think you've had today. Joe Vitrano, always good. Artie 10, nice to see you, Artie, and thank you for all your help. Scott Johnson and Lance Barrow, the broadcast associates, and everybody. We had a great Thanksgiving dinner last night, and we don't do enough of that.
The only thing is, turkeys didn't have any legs. I like, you know, when I eat Thanksgiving dinner, the turkey has to have some legs and wings and stuff, and all the slices of turkey. I mean, you grab a wing or a leg.
You had enough, didn't you? That's Randy Love. You had a lot of dressing.
Yeah, but I like to have a leg or something.
In case you want a gesture, it does help, doesn't it? Clock running with 25 seconds left to play. Second down now for the Cardinals. Dallas leading 35-10. They have it just about salted away. Cardinals not using timeouts. Lomax back in the shotgun. Will try to get in the end zone this time. Almost intercepted by Dexter Clinkscale, and that'll stop the clock with 6 seconds left to play, and Dallas will improve their record to 11-2. Redskins come to town on December the 11th, but in between, the Redskins have a meeting with the Eagles next week. The Cowboys have a rest, and then they go to Seattle.
I'll tell you, they have their game over now, but they'll be watching the Washington Redskins on Sunday. I think Dexter Clinkscale pulled a hamstring on that play.
It looked like it, yes. When he dived for that ball, couldn't come up with it. He's hurt. 35-10. Cowboys help. Where those extra days of rest are going to help.
Yeah, but sometimes a hamstring may even take a little longer than that. Watch the play right at the end. Here he is right there. Now watch, he drops the ball, and watch him grab the left hamstring. Watch him, he grabs it right there.
Boy, that's painful. Here's Lomax looking in the end zone, has Anderson, and the Cardinals have a touchdown with 1 second left to play on the clock. That'll make it 31-17. Assuming that Donahue can kick the extra point, and then we'll still have 1 second left.
Well, watch it here. It's the spread formation. Otis Anderson was a wing back on the left. We see him start in. He's running a pattern to the outside, a corner pattern. Good throw. It just gets her right over his head at the back of the end zone. Dickerson's a little too late.
So Anderson gets the touchdown on the strike from Lomax. 5-year running back. Great ability. Oh, Donahue. With 1 second to go. 75 yards they went. Took 14 plays. But it also took them 6 minutes and 47 seconds. 35-17. This is the second meeting of the year between these two clubs. Cowboys got behind 10-0 in the first meeting and came back to win it. Almost an identical score. Sunday coming up, more pro football, more NFL. Minnesota at New Orleans, Philadelphia, Washington, San Francisco at Chicago. All those mean something to almost everybody. The Giants against the Raiders, Green Bay and Atlanta. Those are the late games. So check your local listings to find out which game you'll see. And don't forget, all of it starts with the NFL today. Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, Charles C. Canty, and Jimmy DeGreek.
I'm kind of glad that New York Giant at L.A. Raiders is a late game.
Yeah, we'll know what's going on by that time, won't we?
Well, none of that. You got to take the bus there, and you don't know when you're going to get there.
Well, that remains to be seen. Danny White today, by the way, was 24 out of 31 for 237 yards, the 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And he had, of course, the 1 touchdown rushing. Tony Dorsett, 17 carries, 102 yards, onside kick coming, going the other way. Bates signals for a fair catch. Well, now, it's a pretty intelligent play.